Welcome to the Potter Blog site, April 16, 2013, the day of the sun bombing at the Boston Marathon. The photo you see here is from the International Marathon the day before. This is in Pyongyang, North Korea, our most bellicose current enemy, celebrating one of the most important days in their founder's history, and that is the birthday of Kim Il-sung. There's Kim Il-sung. There's his birthday. Same day as the Boston Marathon. This was the day that supposedly the North Koreans were going to do a missile launch, somehow act out. Of course, tying all these things together, it seems our authorities seem to be looking for Richard Jewell to pin this on. But let's see what the North Koreans said on Monday. We'll get right to it. North Korea issues new military threats on founder's birthday, same day as the Boston Marathon. And what was their exact threat? Here it is. Our retaliatory action will start without any notice from now, North Korea's state news agency KCNA said on Monday, noting actions would start immediately. So what happened immediately? The explosions at our marathon, the Boston Marathon. Yet, seems like they're still looking for Richard Jewell. And nobody's mentioning North Korea. It doesn't mean North Korea actually did this. But it's interesting nobody's mentioning them. And they're not going to mention them because of the implications. But let's look at motive and opportunity. I think everybody already knows the motive. Saving face. Us holding a marathon right after their marathon, the most important day in their country's history. And that's face saving. They issue a threat, they follow through. But let's talk about opportunity. How could North Korea basically put sappers in Boston? I mean, what are the odds? You have to have some sort of opportunity to be there. Well, it just so happens the only Chinatown in all of New England happens to be in Boston. And it is almost exactly 1 mile away from the finish line. So you have all these good people living in Chinatown, and unfortunately, it's possible amongst them are foreign agents who easily blend in. Matter of fact, the route is bookmarked by Korean areas and Chinese areas, and even though the Koreans don't like to say this very often, there's a lot of connections between the North Koreans and China. But so we have opportunity, we have motive, we have a direct threat from North Korea. Shouldn't we be looking at North Korea as being responsible? Shouldn't we be trying to rule it out? Instead, we're looking for Richard Jewell, it appears. Nobody wants to mention the North Koreans. Maybe they did it. Maybe they didn't. But motive, opportunity, and they've laid claim. So the question is when you know our enemies are up in arms, and they're making all sorts of crazy statements, saying they're going to attack us, and in their eyes, we have the audacity to hold a marathon the day after theirs on their founder's birthday, competing with them, upstaging them. And we haven't taken better precautions against what happened in Boston? Sad state of affairs. Maybe too many eyes looking at the wrong targets. Unfortunately, Richard Jewell wasn't here. Maybe he could have stopped this. But yet nobody's talking about North Korea. Nobody will even point a finger at North Korea on this one. They'd much rather look for Richard Jewell. But when you look at the evidence of the bomb, a low order explosive, wasn't made with military grade materials apparently, probably gunpowder, black powder, something of the sort. And that it was directional. It was taking off people's legs. If you look at the explosive, wasn't a lot of windows blown out, and there wasn't a lot of shrapnel blown upward. Throw in the fact that it was coordinated over 2 different sites. And it suggests trained individuals who are, in essence, special forces, able to use locally available commodities to engage the enemy and create professional IEDs, which this apparently was. But nobody's going to suggest this because of what it means. But I think the day of the sun bombing is probably what it really is. But on the other hand, one never knows. Maybe it was Richard Jewell.